This was Canora. I was on 154th Street and almost 105th Avenue. Almost all of the houses were similar to the one that we lived in. Some of them were, quite frankly, a lot older than that. There were a lot of houses closer to Stony Plain Road that would have been built probably between 1910 and 1925. There were some houses on 154th Street and between about 102nd and 103rd Avenue that were on lots that were, I believe, 33 feet wide. And they were quite small houses. If you got further east, 152nd Street, 151st Street, a lot of those houses were a lot older than ours. So when we first moved there, it's a brand new house, 1949. In the mid-50s, we got a few more houses that were built in the area. And they were big and fancy to our mind. They were probably 900 to 1,000 square feet. They might have had 3 bedrooms. And of course, built after 1957, they would have had the full basement with the water and sewer.
And were there, do you remember if there were development companies that built a whole bunch of houses and then sold them?
I don't know of any in our neighborhood. Certainly there were development companies that were involved in house construction in Edmonton, and my dad worked for some of them. Number of companies that he did work for. In fact, my mom has some old scribblers where she kept track of my dad's wages and who he was working for and that sort of thing.
So most of the houses around you were single family dwellings?
Yes.
And
there were...
one story?
Yeah. One story, single family, no duplexes.
No, okay. No walk-up apartment blocks?
No walk-up apartment blocks, no. I can't think of any walk-up apartment blocks until mid to late 60s, and that would have been just north of Stony Plain Road.
And what about shops? What about commerce and businesses and so on?
There were, when we first moved there was a corner grocery store on 156th Street and 104th Avenue. That quickly closed, and they moved to 154th Street and 105th Avenue on the southeast corner of that intersection, kitty corner from Canora School. That was Sam's Groceries. And it was run by an Oriental family, Chinese family. And my recollection is like mom and dad, maybe grandma and grandpa and kids, and they all worked in the store. They lived in a little building just beside the store. Now it was very basic groceries, candy, pop. That was about it. There were some commercial establishments on Stony Plain Road, but very few. There was Horn's Hardware, which was over Stony Plain Road, and I'm thinking 146th Street. I think that's where they were. But I could easily stand corrected on that. For groceries, in those early days in the 50s, I remember we would have to go to a Safeway store, which was located on 124th Street and Stony Plain Road on the northeast corner of that intersection. It was a fairly small Safeway store, and it served a huge geographical area. We tended to go there on, I can't remember, Friday nights or Saturdays, but it was crowded, and there would be, I don't know, I'm guessing 4, 5, 6 cashiers at the front, and everybody was lined up to the back of the store with their grocery carts. Safeway's then built the new store that I mentioned on 151st Street, north of Stony Plain Road. And that was a big event because now there was a closer grocery store and it was bigger.